Hey guys, how's it going? It's Alexander Williamson here with the secret history living in your aquarium. So, today I am here to announce a awesome giveaway. So, as you guys know, if you watch my channel, I partner with people who I would normally buy from. So, breeders, whether that's Greg Sage, Lucas Bretz, Eric Bodrock, anything like that. I always team up with and Han Han Tron or Han Tran of Han Aquatics. Always, I always want to meet people that are good at what they do in this industry and that are doing a good job and giving back. So I have worked with Aquatic Arts because when I met them, I said I am looking for hard to find crayfish and shrimp and nanofish. And at the time, they were mostly doing shrimp and a few fish. And now they have just, they've gone above and beyond. They're carrying all sorts of stuff. I mean, they're out. You'll see what they've carried in the past, and that'll be back and it'll say sold out. That doesn't mean they just had it. They just leave it up there because if they get a lot of emails saying, "Oh my gosh, I wish you had more, panda guppies or whatever," then they'll bring those back in if they can. In any case, I have worked out with them because it went so well in December, and so many of you guys check them out. I'm not making you do anything. There's a link below where you can save 10% or 15%. 15% for you if it's your first time. So you can save 15% with them. And in this video, I'm going to get all the stupid details that the law requires I get out of the way of this giveaway. And then we can just have a normal live stream after that. But let's get all of that silliness out of the way, which is this is legally a sweepstake, and by that reasoning, I am following the federal regulations of interstate sweepstakes, like the McDonald's Monopoly giveaway, or you've probably seen websites where they give you 20 points for liking their Twitter account and 20 points for this or that. Well, I don't have one of those programs. I'm literally just doing an Excel sheet, and if I see your comment, I add your name, and if you buy something from Aquatic Arts, you get more points, but you don't have to buy anything to win. You get entered, you get 10 entries each time I say, "Hey guys, if you comment below, you get an entry," okay? And in this video, there's a twist. So there was one already 2 weeks ago where I said, "This is a sneak peek. If you guys enter, just say you want in on this video." And so everybody who did that, I've got you guys down for 10 points. Then, in this video, if you guys go and do what I said, you can get 10 more points towards an entry. So you'll have 20 points if you said I want in on the first one. And on this one, you don't need to comment necessarily on this one about wanting in. You just need to say, "I watched it." So what I want you to do in this video, there's a link in the description. So there's a video, and it's the anniversary of me getting hit by lightning a few days ago. I made a video about all the crazy and amazing science having to do with fish tanks that lightning has to do with. You may not think it, but I mean, think about in nature, wildfires. That's activated carbon gets made with the extreme heat of lightning. Without the presence of oxygen, it burns all the oxygen up around and bam, it zaps the trees. Just normal fires, it makes carbon. It is actually one of the only forces in the world, the only non-organic forces that make nitrates for plants. Also, it is the storm of dust that comes from Africa in the Sahara, made of phosphorus sand and silicate sand, that makes it all the way in the upper atmosphere to the Amazon. And what are they short on in the Amazon naturally? Phosphorus. So check out the link to the video that I have linked below. And I have two videos about lightning in different parts. I'm linking to the one that covers the most stuff and that I think represents this channel really well, in that it talks about fish, science, and I try to make it humorous and whatnot. Now, I would love it if you watch the whole thing, but I can't make you do anything. It's the honor system. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the link in the description of this video. You're going to watch that video. You can stop watching here now if you want, if you don't want to hear about the prizes. And then you're just going to watch it if you'd like. I'd like it if you watched it or shared it. But if you don't, if it's not your cup of tea, if you don't like the video, dislike it. That's fine. But comment, I want in on the contest. And that's where I will be watching. That's where I will be picking up comments. So hopefully I'll come around to everyone and say, got you down, like, okay, cool. Or, you know, if you say another question other than I want in, I might answer the question if I have time. But, you know, if I respond, you'll know that I have you down. And so do that on the other video. You can come back here and say whatever you want about this video, but just let me know that you did it or whatever if you want. So that is your entry into this contest. That gets you 10 points. I can't on YouTube make you subscribe. I'd love it if you did, but if you don't like my channel that much and you just want free stuff, fine. Get entered and don't subscribe. I'd love it if you did subscribe though. And so the free stuff this time, because so many of you guys have used these codes for Aquatic Arts, one, they've been able to get in rare fish that never before have they been able to get. They've been importing straight from overseas, quarantining for like 90 days. The people who own the company are real fish lovers. You've probably talked to several people there if you've talked to customer service or emails about things at all. And the biggest complaint I get from them is that their shipping's too high. The shipping is too damn high. So what are we doing this giveaway? Free shipping for 10 people. And I can do that before the giveaway. There's no rule on that they set on how I disperse these. So I'm saying that every time I have a video where I talk about this contest now through the 15th of July, I will, if I want, I'll just give out free shipping to someone who's in the comments watching, somebody who's on my stream a lot, whatever. Those prizes, I'm just giving them out. They're just mine to give and whatever. And anything that's left of those shippings, which I'll leave at least 5 to for sure, if not like 7, to be going away to people in the contest. Now, that is not to say that if you win a shipping prize, you're out of the running for another prize. You could get the $100 gift card, $129 gift card, and get free shipping. So, I mean, it just depends on how many entries you have. So, when you buy something from Aquatic Arts, you get 100 points. So, you get how this works. You don't have to buy anything, but it heavily favors you in the odds if you do that. They're also going to be running some specials with what they have available as far as shrimp and things go. The nebula shrimp, the gold nebula shrimp, the short nose algae eaters, which those things have eaten more algae than my neorites, than my algae eating frickin' fish. They are awesome. So I really do honestly suggest those from the bottom of my heart. Now, they're crystal shrimp. They look really nice. Their Caridina stuff looks nice. I don't know, Caridina or Caridina, wherever you go. As long as they're nice and healthy, which they have a really healthy line. The guy's been keeping Caridina for years and years, and he sat on the line until there was like, tubs and tubs of the basic red and black Caridina, as well as, things like a mono shrimp. A mono shrimp are probably going to be similar wherever you go. But yeah, so I'm going to be giving away that stuff. Basically, they put it in my hands. They said, we trust you. You ran it last time. And every time you guys spend money at Aquatic Arts, 8% of that money goes back into, of the profit, goes back into a fund that will fund this in December. So at Christmas, we gave away $379 worth of stuff. I think with my own stuff thrown in, it was $500 worth of prizes. This time, we're hitting $1,000 worth of goods. They're in the description. So we're giving away a shrimp starter kit. So that's I think, a dozen shrimp plus catappa leaves, wood, food, choya wood, and a few other little things. Or you can say, just give me the cash, baby, and get 130 some bucks cash, I think. Other than that, we're giving away a $100 gift card, 10 free shippings, which is overnight express insured shipping. That could be up to 60 bucks depending on where you live if you live really far from them. And I'm not positive yet if we can extend that deal to Alaska and Hawaii. So if you're thinking of ordering something and you live in Alaska or Hawaii, ask them first about that, because it's really weird. They have to type it in and see if their carrier allows that. Beyond all this, they're talking about changing the shipping setup, and doing something a little bit better. They have brand new Apistos that came in. David Yates, thanks for mentioning that. They've got these beautiful, I can't remember the Latin name, but they've got these red tails and then silver, like metallic, beautiful bodies. They're really cool. But yeah, they're a really cool company. The other reason I like them is that they're angelfish. Where is he? Oh, there he is. They're angelfish. And they're corridoras. A ton of them are from breeders in the Midwest. Same with any other nanofish, bettas, stuff like that, shrimp. Anything they can get their hands on in bulk that's reliable, they're trying to buy from local breeders, which I think is phenomenal. I've yet to see a company that grows from 4 people to 12 and actually reduces the amount of species they're importing from overseas and starts sourcing from home and eating the costs. It's really cool. You can really tell. I mean, the owner, he worked for UPS actually, hurt his back and he couldn't work for them. And he was home. He was on his last leg of rent, according to the story of the founding of the site. And he sold a bunch of cherry shrimp and the shrimp he'd been raising out of a 50 breeder or 50-gallon tank. And at the time, that's when shrimp were still fairly new. The red shrimp cherries were pretty new, and he had painted fires, and he got himself rent, and he got himself out of trouble for the time being. Started making more and more tanks and getting another job, and then within a year, it became his full-time job, and that's how the company's grown over the last decade, basically. So it's a cool story of a hobbyist who's not greedy. He also gives away a ton of money to charity, which is really cool. They have a program for Tanks for Teachers, which is a national program, but if you adopt an animal, they'll give you a $25 gift card most of the year. So if you adopt an animal from an animal shelter or Humane Society, they'll give you $25 to $50 depending on the way they're running the special. They give away meals and clothing to homeless women and children in the area and in the big cities of the Midwest. So there's just a lot of really cool stuff they do in the community that is why I support them over other companies. Plus they pay their employees well and benefits and all that, yada yada. So, yeah, they have basically no DOAs compared to most people because they overnight ship. And they changed from that. They used to have cheap shipping, and they have found that most people spend enough, like near $100, that they should just overnight it and everything's doing way better that way. I know it's expensive. That shipping can be 40 to 60 bucks if you're somewhere really far away, like Florida, or maybe, I don't know, maybe that might include places like Alaska. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But if you're in the US, the contiguous United States, all this for sure applies to you. If you're outside of there, you can still enter by by commenting on the lightning video, as I said. So go to the description below, comment, go to that video, watch it if you'd like. I'd love it if you did. I think it has really cool info, and it's one that kind of got skipped over, but it's one that's near and dear to my heart because I was like, lightning, that doesn't seem to have anything to do with raising fish. And I start looking into it, and all my Amazonian fish and most of my African fish have something heavily to do with lightning in the ecosystem. So it's just kind of the nature of what I wanted this channel to be when I started, which is pretending you're in your aquarium, stuck in there for a life sentence, and looking at the pieces, parts, species, and thinking, how did that get here and what's the story behind it? So if it's a tetra, who caught that tetra? What year did they start catching tetras? Who's the middleman? So that was the main point of this channel, and I've kind of diverted. Aquatic Arts is not in Seattle. I'm in Seattle. Aquatic Arts is in Indianapolis, and if you live there, they'll let you pick stuff up too if you live nearby, which is cute. So the rules: no purchase necessary. As I said, just comment any video where the subject is talking about this contest between now and July 15th. I'm gonna try to draw on July 15th, but it may be somewhere between the 15th and the 20th because they're getting a big new shipment of fish, and I want whoever wins to be able to get more of whatever's new. And I want the end of the contest to catch those fish, if that makes sense. So if you see something and you're like, oh, they got that in, then yeah, then you'll be able to do it. So that's the gist of it. GIST of it, gist. And I have a ton of critters from them now. I really love it. The quality's great. I've never had worms or bacteria or anything. Once I had 2 adult plecos I bought from them, which had babies the first week. You can go back and watch those videos. They were L144 plecos, L144As, the lemon yellow plecos. You don't need to see my mug. Hold on. Run away. These guys, the blue eyes, they're not albino, they're actually yellow. So there's those, and then the albino. These are albino blue eye, long tail, long fin, fancy fin. These are bred in the Midwest. Got these angelfish there. I've gotten a bunch of my tetras from there. The reed tetras. These guys I got there. I'm really digging on these. They sent me these kitty tetras, and they're so beautiful. When I got them, I was like, yeah, I don't know about these things. But now that I see them colored up, they have this awesome lemon color. Here, look, if they'd stand still, this lemon color with a black square on their tail, which goes really nicely with like reed tetras or Corridora habrosis. They sent me all this boost. I mean, this has been over 2 years of me buying stuff from them. The rarer stuff I still get from Han Aquatics, and yeah. The angelfish fry, I will show you how the angelfish fry are doing. They're downstairs. They're in just out of wriggler stage, and most of them are hiding on the bottom and really hard to find unless I clean things out of the tanks they're in. I put them into 2 different shrimp tanks that don't have fish really, and one baby is like super on point, always at the glass begging for fresh baby brine shrimp, but the rest are kind of I don't see them much unless I stir everything up crazy. So I hope they're doing okay, but I honestly am not really seeing a lot of the angelfish. Yeah, this tank here is a 40-gallon, but it's a funky 40-gallon. It is packed with plants, as you can see, and I built out of real rocks, but I built a false cave system of several tunnels that run around kind of a reef thing that I built here. You can see this all stone here, and there's little areas where and then back here there's Val, but there's little areas where all the fish, because I breed cribs in here, I breed angelfish in here, and I breed obviously endlers, live bears, and once in a while I'll actually get tetras. I'll find little baby tetras swimming up here. So they're getting laid back in these corners, back in the jungle, so to speak, and coming forward. But it's always changing what's big. This is a pink European Meboldi. There's no CO2 on the tank right now, so the pink is like metallic and you can't see it super well on camera. But like same with this boost. This boost to my eye is like forest green with blood red on the underside. And I mean, this is Altherna renekii. If you know how pink that is, that's how dimmed down the colors are right now in this. Um, so once you account for all rocks and plants, how many gallons would you say I actually have in there? Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Probably with all the rocks and all the plants and all the fish and sticks, there's probably about 28 to 34 gallons in there. I think I measured it before the wood was in there and I had 30, like 36 gallons. Like I really used really light rock that soaks up a lot of water. And they're very thin slices of rock for the most part that I kind of propped up with pillars of rock. It would look real ugly if there weren't plants on it. You'd just be like, why would you ever aquascape something like that? It's very, there's a lot of things like you can see up here. I've got a scaffolding. When this grows in, you won't be able to see anything on here. That'll take some time, but there's a lot of scaffolding and tying things on to hide it and make it look denser than it really is. But it is overloaded. If you think an inch per gallon is the way to go, then I have screwed the pooch on that one. There are probably 70 fish in there easily. But they do well, and it's zero nitrates. Well, actually, it's like 20 nitrates, parts per million. Jay Blair, what's up? How's it going, everybody? Do you have a lot of water change with that many fish? I don't. Surprisingly, these fish, I don't know if they're just resilient or it's magic or what, but I mean, can you see how many plants I have in here? I have to trim plants way more than I change water. These plants will grow all the way to the surface every few days, these stem plants. So they're taking an immense amount of nitrates out of the system every time I do that, or every time I use guppy grass that's just literally densely shoved all the way to the bottom in the back over here. And that and water sprite, I mean, yeah, you can get a ton of nitrates out that way and just pack it with fish, especially with fish that use different levels of the water column. It's really only that the angelfish's wife died. She had, after she had babies, she actually had a hemorrhage in her ovarian duct, oviduct. And she and him were really territorial, and they chased off everything from their fish. And then obviously she died. He started eating the babies when that happened. First he moved them and he was really tender and sweet, and then he started eating them when they were hatching and in like little egg sacs, like little wrigglers. So yeah, but I've got, stem plants in here galore, and then also a lot of slow plants. So it's like either super fast or super slow plants, and some real hardy, chunky, like bulbs and stuff. And then there's not a ton of substrate. There's no active substrate in here, so everything's feeding off the water column. All these rhizome plants, all the guppy grass or nausea grass, all the moss that I have to cut all the time. It's all just, and the corkscrew valve, I have to cut every few days, definitely. I'll cut a foot out, and yeah. So that's what's up with that. This tank over here, my plan to grow out some, I want to move these for a tank that I'm setting up later. But obviously there's some algae up in here, but these are red root floaters, and I've kind of made a raft out of the plants below. Got some immersed growth, just kind of seeing what happens. But check this out. My Malawa shrimp, some of them have turned bright pink and purple. Why? This guy is neon pink and purple. Maybe it's because of the tiger lily. I don't know. I got that from Aquatic Arts though as a little bulb a couple weeks ago. Now these are the short nose algae eaters I got from Aquatic Arts. The panda loaches I got from Aquatic Arts. They're already grown, which I like. I know a lot of people like the babies, but they've got the strain from the Northern River, and that's as blotchy as they get if you keep them healthy. If they're not healthy, they'll turn a faded tan, and a lot of people think that's just the way the fish is. But the truth is, in this tank, I change the water twice a week, and it's a 17 gallon, and it doesn't have a big bio load of fish, and it has a ton of plants. I've got three guppies in here right now, these little koi guppies. And then I've got some Fongzi rasboras. I've got a dozen of them. Or not a dozen, I think there's 8 of them now. And then I also have a bajillion Malawa shrimp uh, in here. And most of them look like this, like clear. But now some are turning like brown and pink and stuff. But, anyways, and then I've got some CPDs. I put a bunch of baby CPDs in here. There were about 4 adult CPDs, and then I threw in maybe 9 babies. And it looks as though about 5 of the babies have survived and are at that size. But yeah, so there's those. And then there's a Pandagara, an Erythromicron, and 3 striped border loaches, dwarf striped border loaches that I got from Aquarium Zen in Seattle, and then the blue Neocaridina shrimp, which are pretty much all over this tank. Usually, it's the heat of the day, and they kind of hide out uh, right now. But I mean, if I start looking for them under stuff, they're everywhere. So yeah, that's this tank right now. Let me see what other questions y'all had. Other than that, I wanted to get all those kind of rules and regulations out of the way because last year somebody decided to call the attorney state general of Georgia on me and got mad that I was giving free stuff away. I don't know. So the attorney general, and then like they deferred it to like the gaming and gambling and gaming, whatever it was, gaming and recreation department or something, and they sent me an email that was like, sorry, we're wasting your time, are you running an illegal gambling thing? And they looked at my channel and they're like, oh, you don't matter. But in any case, I wanted to make sure I was complying, so the blah blahs are in the description, and also all the prizes have dollar amounts other than the 10 free shipping, 10 people I'm giving away free shipping to, and I'm going to give away free shipping as I see fit, like I said. So 3 to 5 of those shippings I'm going to give away before the final drawing. The way I'm going to do the final drawing is there's a program that's a randomizer online. I'm going to make an Excel sheet every time somebody says I want in on the contest. I'm going to put their name in. They're going to get their name generated 10 times or 10 value points in the Excel sheet. And then if you guys buy something from Aquatic Arts and your screen name is different from your email that they have blurred out, but they'll give me a number for it. So it'll say like number code user 1234. So I don't have your actual private info. Then that will be the marker, and you'll be notified through the email. If I don't have the email, you'll be notified through this, where you commented, where you said I'm in, I want to be in the contest. You'll be alerted that way. You do have just right off the bat, I may come up with a couple more little things so that people can get free entries and better chance of winning. But I'm not doing anything if you're subscribed to the channel, so you don't need to be subscribed. This isn't about me. This is about giving back to those of you who have chosen to support a company that I like. They give me free stuff to put in my tanks. I also buy stuff from them, but every 3 months they'll send me $100 worth of free shrimp or free this or that angelfish, and then I'll buy a couple things and cover the shipping, and they'll give me this or that, or they'll cover the shipping, and I'll order Phoenix rasboras. I love those things. Whatever it may be for all my tanks. But yeah, they're just a company I like, and so there's none of this. This time there's none of the weird, like, I don't want to subscribe to your channel. You don't need to, guys. This is for everyone. This is for the hobby. I just want to give back, okay? And I want to see people being kind. This has been a very kind ecosystem on my channel. You guys rock. You're just here. Mostly it seems like you guys want to share good stories about how you relate with me or someone else that I discuss on the channel, or how fish keeping has helped your life, how history is interesting, and maybe an interesting fact and you guys teach me something. That's the point. It's a two-way street. There's webs. It's a million-way street. However many people want to subscribe. But yeah, also just so you know, put the little bell icon on. Like if you've subscribed a long time ago, unsubscribe and then resubscribe, or just make sure your bell is clicked to notify, because I just keep hearing from a lot of people like, I really like your channel, but I only get notified once in a while, or I only get notified when you have those videos that are like top 10 myths about shrimp, and I hate those. Some people really like the dry videos, like the one I did recently on dechlorinator. I should also state that there were other brands making dechlorinator. They did not have a patent, and I learned that from another hobbyist who was older than me and much wiser than me. So, correction, I put it in the description and everything. But, I mean, this will be um, they didn't have the liquid form, so whatever. But this will be, you know, the same as it is. I'm trying to stay true to why I started the channel, the goofy nature, but also the fun. Like, this is an outlet. This is a place for me to nerd out, share with you guys what I've learned, and you guys to share what you've learned, and hopefully I can help you guys save some fish. A lot of people have, for instance, joined my Patreon and said, I'm going to give you $1 a month for the next year. That's $12 because at 3 in the morning you responded and it saved my goldfish I've had for 6 years. Stuff like that. So I'm not asking for things unless you feel I've earned them. That's really what I want to say about life in general, is that if you think I've earned it, if you think the channel earns it with what I produce, then feel free to join the Patreon, do super chats, so forth. Other than that, I want to give back to you guys because you guys make this possible. Clearly, I'm running ads. They don't make a ton of money, but you can hear about that on the transparency video I posted. I showed you guys exactly what my videos make and ads and all that. So I just want to be straight up with you guys. I want to show you what I know. There's no wizard behind the curtain. If you're feeling that way ever about our relationship, and I'm talking straight to each one of you, if you feel like the relationship on the channel has changed and gotten like you're a sellout, you're corporate, let me know about it, because I'd like to tell you my side of it or just show you what's going on. A lot of times there's nothing going on that's that mystifying. So, yeah, that's what all this is about. How is Georgia coming after me? They're not. They don't care at all. In fact, they were annoyed that the person like filed 3 complaints in writing. So somebody was really after me. Somebody really hit that dislike button and was like, I don't want you giving away fish. Probably some competitor of Aquatic Arts or something. I'm such a rebel. Totally, Christy. Um, yes, thank you, Betsy, for being a great admin and moderator. She also runs the YouTube. That's where we are, guys. She also runs the Facebook site. I mean, I'm in there too, but she is the wizard you can thank for changing the pictures and welcoming new people in and all that stuff. But that's another great place, because YouTube, if they let us share pictures with each other, I would love it, because then you guys could say, hey, look, my fish has this thing on its side. What do I do? Well, I don't know. If somebody said the other day, and if this is you and you're really new to the hobby and you thought it was enough info, I apologize, but I'm going to have a little laugh at your expense. But don't stop asking questions, but I'm still going to laugh. So somebody said, I have a fish, it's a tetra, and it's sick. What do I do? And I said, how is it sick? What kind of tetra? And she said, it's a tetra fish, freshwater, and I don't know how it's sick. That's why I asked you. So try to help her again. I say, what symptoms does it have? What's going on? Oh, it's just not swimming with the rest of them and it's hanging out in the corner. And then later she's like, actually, it's fine. It joined the group again. So, so like I'm there to try to help, and I like to say there's no dumb questions, but there's a couple. There's a couple dumb questions. So give me information. Go to the Facebook group and show me what's wrong with your fish. I may not know the answer, but we can try to find it out together. Cindy425, Maas. I would like to be in the drawing, and I get notified when live. Yeah, so good. You get notified when I'm live, or are you saying you don't? But if you are in the US and you want to be in the drawing, then do as I say. Wow, the light's really intense. All right, if you maggots want to be, no, I want to be nice. If you people would like, wait, here we go. If you people would like to be in the drawing for over $1,000 of prizes, including Aquatic Arts new food blends, $100 gift certificate, two $50 gift certificates, five $25 gift certificates, and over $500 worth of shipping costs that they are saying they will cover, then do as I say in the description. Follow the link to the lightning video. Watch it if it grabs your interest and say, I want in. That's all. And then if you want, come back and say here that you did that, and that'll help this video. Because the more people who buy stuff from Aquatic Arts, guess what? The more I get to give away next time. That's why this is like $650 more stuff than the last giveaway. Hopefully next time we can give away $2,000 worth of stuff. Adam, I really appreciate that. You say, dude, you're one of my top 5 channels. Whoever those other 4 are, man. I gotta get them. Notifications have been working a little bit better lately for me, but only if you have YouTube open. Interesting, Christy. You and Joey, not gonna pick a favorite. Okay, well, if I'm anywhere near Joey, then I'll take. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I don't think I'm anywhere as experienced as him, especially since he's got all the money now and all the. I mean, he was experienced in the first place, but and we both kind of had like a shaky history. I guess that's kind of common. A lot of us fish keepers had shaky histories, whatever that means. As kids, we were a bit of a pain in the butt, maybe. Hey all, you do not say you want in here. Put yeah, exactly. Betsy is totally right. Don't come into the live stream and say you want in, because I'm not going back and watching this whole thing and every time someone said I wanted in. No. You follow these directions that I've said like 4 times now, and I'm making you guys work because it's free. It's free. It takes you guys, you can do this in 30 seconds if you want to be a jerk and not actually watch my video. You just go to the link, you say, I want in on the lightning video, which is a really fascinating video. I put it out right a couple months after I got struck by lightning, and I was in bed all the time, and I was reading about, okay, I know lightning applies to my life in some way. I didn't get hit for no reason. I was just trying to make sense of things. I did all this research on lightning, and it turns out that a ton of fish mate because of the storm season, and lightning is one of the triggers. That's why they have it as a setting. It's kind of a gimmick. But on some lights, they think that lightning and ions in the water and in the air cause different pheromone reactions. So, I mean, that's just a little bit of it. But the video goes in depth on that. Yeah, Cindy425 says he's pretty corporate, isn't he? Yeah. You know how corporate I am? This corporate. That I'm in romper pants. I'm in pants my friend made me that have owls on them, like hot pants or whatever they are, and a tie-dye. So, and no shoes. So, that's how corporate I am. All right. DS, hello, welcome. Don't forget to thumbs up, guys. Oh yeah, if you guys want to hitchhike, go ahead and do that. They don't make it easy. You'd think that like some of the easiest stuff to fix on YouTube would be you go in, you click the thumbs up while it's streaming. There should be a button on the screen. You shouldn't have to exit out and whatever. Yeah. All right. So if you already watched the lightning video, well, so there's a couple. This is not this lightning video I'm telling y'all to watch is not the one where I'm like, I got hit by lightning. Thank you guys. Which I mean, it is, it was an emotional time, and you guys really helped me through it. There was a point where, if it weren't for my wife and close, like my mother and father and a couple friends, if it weren't for me worrying about inflicting pain on them, I didn't want to be here. I didn't want to go through it anymore. And between them and just spacing off into the fish and thinking about that I have like these creatures that are depending on me other than people, obviously you don't think logically when you get that depressed and you're chemically depressed, and it's not logical. But um, fish several different times in my life have been there around, and I'm like, I don't want to do anything. Well, I got to take care of them. So um, not having kids yet, so maybe fish are like a kid in some silly minimal way. But yeah, so it's a video on the video I'm talking about that's on lightning that's linked to is totally not about how I feel about lightning much. It's about the science of all the ways you would think lightning wouldn't be involved with fish, but it really is. Um, let's see here. I wouldn't pick one over the others. As a newbie, it's good to have all different sources. Totally. You should totally watch other channels. Like when people get competitive about it, I'm like, why? Like nobody's on here to be like, I'm gonna give them bad information. It's probably what works for them. There's just different opinions. Um, so yeah, let's see here. Positive and negative charges. Yes. He did a video recently that tells the story of getting hit by lightning. Yeah. Yeah. So let's not talk about lightning anymore. I'm over it. Let's move on. But I do want to say quickly, I'm not going to get into it now. You guys are here to cheer me up. I'm using you right now, by the way. What do you have going on in your shrimp? With my shrimp? Wait, what do you have going on with your shrimp currently? Okay. Well, I showed you guys what was going on with the shrimp in this tank over here. The shrimp mostly are food that got eaten in this tank. And we can go downstairs, but one, it's the weekend. I told you guys this story before. I live in a really techie neighborhood and they haven't upgraded all the fiber yet. So it's like half the time I go downstairs and I have a router extender and everything, but I'm already on a thread up here, and any deviation sometimes goes silly Sally haywire. But we'll go downstairs. Let's check it out. Yeah, man, show us some tanks. Just do your thing. All right. Let's go downstairs. Let's have a downstairs party. All right, man, my knees. Ow. Honey, I didn't break your watering can. All right. If I start lagging out, tell me. Yes, Panda Loach tank is my favorite tank at the moment. Oh, boy, the glare is bad right now, though. The glare is strong with this one. So, yes, we've got short-nosed algae shrimp of another species from Aquatic Arts. Blue Dream Neocardinas, there's a billion of them in here. And then my favorite, the Panda Loaches. And, I did have like rushing water in here for a while, and I decided to tone it down. And so they're still getting pretty, like, very, like, the TDS in this tank is, like, nothing. It's, like, 14 or something. But it's actually higher than that. I think it's, like, 50 now. But, yeah, I'm surprised that the Neocardina do so well in here. But there's rock in here that has a little bit of calcification on it. And there's a little bit of crushed coral mixed in. Mad Fish Diva, what is up, girl? So, yeah. But I love these guys. They're my favorite. Aquatic Arts had them for $20 cheaper than they were being sold locally at Aquarium Zen and some other shops in town. Because they're hard to find. That being said, they were adults, so they weren't quite as cute. But to me, I think that is, like, this is an adult. I think he's stinking adorable. And they all have different markings, so now I'm getting to tell them apart. And so I still have a dozen of them. These guys, this is my favorite one. He's just got like a real crazy snakeskin pattern on him. And he's got silver eyes up top and then blue below. I don't use RO in this tank, but I guess I do. I use distilled water from just the gas station or whatever, where it's like $1 a gallon. It's 99 cents a gallon. But you can see this. So there's two different lines of panda loaches and in China, and one comes from the national forest and has been. They're not supposed to be harvesting there anymore. The other place where they're allowed to harvest, the guys turn really like tan buttercream color, and then the black turns like this, like a gray. But these guys tend to stay like pretty darn light colored, like whitish pink, and then like really strong black still. It gets a little bit pinkish or creamish in the center, but and they don't stay just black, white, black, white, black, white, but they're still just a beautiful little fish, especially for the fact that they never get. Hold on, let me find something. Here, they never get. I mean, my finger's up against the glass. You can see they're like not even an inch long, these guys. But there we go. There's the one with the cool markings on his face. So that's going on in here. This is my super black water tank. And there's a few things going on in there. Some of the angelfish fry are in there, and I'm just hoping they're doing okay. Up here, whoa. So this was, this dude is hunting. Wow. In any case, we got all the little fishies. He'll eat the little fishies. Those guys are mean. James Woodward, thank you for making a live stream. I've also got a bunch of, this one I don't change the water like a ton, but I do gravel vac out the filth, and then I'll gravel vac all the chunkiness off the bottom, the mulm, and then what I'll do, so I'm the mulm man, and I'll get that off the bottom, and then I'll put it in a bucket, like over here. Why is this so zoomed in? There we go. And I'll get rid of it. So it looks like it's time for that again. You can see the mulm here. I'll leave it, but a third of the tank at a time I'll clean out so that the bacteria doesn't crash. And so I'll pull that out, I'll put it in the bucket, and then I will let it sit overnight, and then I'll put the water right back in. And then as it evaporates, I replace the water also. But actually in that bucket, like the nitrates crash because there's so many other little things. Also, likewise in other tanks, I do this thing where I just float hornwort or duckweed or whatever. I don't really like the duckweed, but it's here to stay, I guess. Corkscrew valve. This is the red metallic corkscrew valve. And then I've also got the tricolor corridor. What are they called? Trilineatus corridors in here. They're one of my favorites. These ones are sold as Juliine all the time in every store. I mean, even like Corey, who owns Aquarium Co-op, I know he knows that those are Trilineatus, but everyone who shops at his shop is going to think that those are Julii. Julii actually have little dots on them, and they're a little smaller, and you may have them elsewhere, and they may be called that, but it's just become, around the U.S., the Juliis have been incorrectly labeled for so long that now Julii is a common name for the Trilineatus. I love my colony of itsy bitsy teeny weeny Habrosus corridoras. Love them. There's a bunch in here. These guys are going to be moving to possibly the dark water tank. There's another Trilineatus, or another Habrosus corridora over there. But these guys are getting mean. They're getting big enough that they're getting mean, and they need to move. I got them and I didn't know what they were from Aquarium Zen. They were in. I didn't know at first what they were, but yeah, they're convict cichlids. They're Honduran red points, and then I've still got the guppies going in here. The I call them Volta because they're Japanese blue, and ideally the males have this pattern where you see the yellow outlines. These are all pretty young right now. And then I've got a whole bunch of, like, this is Crypnuri, I can't remember the variation off the top of my head. And then, you know, Pink Panther Crypt. It's just live streaming, the color sucks, so everything just looks washed out. But actually, this is a very bright crypt arrangement. Lots of Wendetti, lots of Nuri. Here's another Crypnuri, a different variation. Here's a purple Night Sword. Yeah. So in all my tanks, you can see I have like 150 fish. I don't know. This is a weird one in that right now I know it's too weird to be true to exist. We've got shrimp in here, right? Like a lot of them, including pregnant ones. These are Malawa shrimp or gold nebula. And so I've got convict cichlids in here that are now over an inch long. I guess they're like, they're bigger than the second knuckle. So probably an inch and a quarter, inch and a half. I've got all these endlers in here. So, although a lot of the baby endlers have been disappearing, which is fine, there were too many. And then I've got Maytangensis danios, a pair of them that I just separated because I'm gonna probably try to breed them outside. I've got Axelrodi rasbora, blue rasbora, and then I've also got there's ruby tetras back there, and then there's the white cloud minnows, Vietnamese or Chinese white cloud minnows. I think these are the Vietnamese ones. And then there's an a yellow um, pleco that I just needed a place to put, and then there are also, well, there are Adolphi corridoras in here too. There's like 5 of them in there. So yeah, overcrowded. I just do things by how the fish are acting, and right now the fish are acting funky, and it's because these cichlids are too big and they're mean. So, yeah. But the Habrosis were breeding. They've stopped breeding. Everything has stopped breeding pretty much in here, other than uh, the endlers because of the cichlids. The cichlids are just, I need to get them out of here. Even though like some are still baby size, they're just mean. I have some autos in here too. They're in all my tanks. There, I do have some zebra autocinclus. Somebody asked about that. They're in that pink tank I showed you upstairs. I never see them. They're so shy, but I do love them. I love marbled or also the orange ones. Those are called Robocop. That's their Latin name, Robocop. I love it. Um, but yeah, so that's what's going on in here. Those little cichlids have actually started eating every snail in this place too, which is interesting because where are they? There's actually pea puffers in here too. If there wasn't enough junk in here that shouldn't get along. The pea puffer should be somewhere back in here. He's always hanging out somewhere in there. And then the other pea puffer hangs out back in this corner with the shrimp. Um, yeah, how do I maintain cichlid water parameters? Well, in this tank you can see I just have a buttload of animals in here. And all the sheds here. Also, you can see I've got crushed coral and sand in this one. So this one has like a pH of 8, which the Axelrod rasboras shouldn't be happy with, but everybody else is okay with it. But the TDS is like 300 in this tank, and the Axelrod blue, these guys, blue or green, whatever you want to call them, rasboras, they shouldn't be very happy with that, and maybe the Danios shouldn't be either, but Danios are real hardy. So really, I mean, I just had to think most about, not even, I didn't even think that much about the cichlids. I didn't know what they were when I first got them. So they were raised in a 6.5 pH tank. Somehow 2 and 2 is making 6, essentially. Yeah. I think having so many plants, I mean, the pH is is about 8.0 in here, and the TDS is high. A little something to help my channel. Dan Dupois, thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I appreciate that, Dan. That was very nice of you. Haven't seen a super chat in a little bit. I'm just trying to find for you guys the pea puffer, because the pea puffer is super similar to these cichlids in its behavior, the two pea puffers, but I don't know where they are. They're probably eating all my shrimp like they do. But these shrimp, these gold nebula shrimp, Aquatic Arts is where I got those ones. They reproduce so friggin' fast in this tank for some reason, and I don't know why, guys. This is a tank that really should not be. Upstairs, it's like a little crowded, and I've been taking care of fish for a long time, so I know like what I'm doing, so to speak. This one's just a little kooky. Although I mean, there are a lot of plants in there. Um, I think the main thing is I don't do huge water changes in this tank, so nothing's getting shocked. So I think if you took any one of these fish and you drop them into a tank like this, they may die. But everybody either grew up in this tank from the time they were itsy bitsy teeny weeny polka dotted yellow bikini fry, all the way up. I mean, everybody does pretty good in this tank usually. There's some other like plecos and stuff in here too, like fry. This is kind of like my dumping ground of like, oh, it's a 20-gallon long, and I'm gonna keep like a 75-gallon worth of critters in there. Up here, no fish, just shrimpies. We've got the Neocaridina shrimp from Lucas Brett's. We've also got the blah blah blah, the Babalti shrimp. See them? They're the babies that are white in here. Where are the Babaltis? Oh, there's one. So they're either green or orange. They turn all sorts of colors, and they've got like a long whiskery nose, and their eyes super teeny. Usually white, but they have a pupil that can constrict, apparently. I learned that from somebody arguing that they weren't Babaltis because they had black pupils. And then I waited and they had white pupils, and I was like, what's happening? And believe it or not, oh, there's one with white pupils. They have a membrane over their eyes that can, is like another, it's like an iris. It can open and close like a camera shutter in that cool little overlapping way. And they can basically blink two irises, and they can have black eyes or white eye pupils and see for different occasions. But then also, where is he? There was a real outgoing angelfish fry in here, and I do not see him. Watched the video earlier today as a head scratcher. Shell dwellers with betta tank mates. Yeah, I mean, sometimes stuff just works. I don't know. People claim a lot of stuff without, I mean, there's stuff like, I mean, I can tell you, like, don't do as I do with certain things. Like, I don't promote certain, like, there's planaria in here. See this? I don't want that planaria. Wait, oh, that's a leaf. But, okay, so there's a lot of leaves in here. But, I'm not an expert. There's a real planaria. I knew there'd be someone around because there's a bunch of food in here that I put out so you guys could see them. But yeah, so the planaria, I've been trying to get them under control. I'm doing an experiment actually because everybody oh, what's up, Pete? So everybody says planaria, planaria, they're killing my babies. Check this out. I made the most awful planaria trap in the world. This is like over 200 planaria that I've bred and saved up in a jar and left in the windowsill. Look at that. They make this gooey net that can catch things. But I sacrificed a few baby shrimp to see if it was true. And the shrimp get caught up in the nets, and that's bad. And I've also done this with, what do you call them? Hydras. And the hydras kill the shrimp much quicker, baby shrimp, than the planaria. The planaria were doing totally, I mean, they're gross, they're disgusting, they're freaking all over in here under the mulm at the moment. But look at that, they've got like this network of slime. But yeah, they're in there, and they're up on the rim hiding and stuff. Do different kinds of shrimp crossbreed? Yes, some do. It's a real complicated subject, and you're going to get into a lot of arguments. I've got a green water setup going on here that I'm doing another experiment with, another experiment. So I have, if they work out, if there's anything of note, I will show you guys what's going on in here. But yeah, other than that, in this tank, it's all overgrown. Everything's overgrown right now. I've just kind of been, you know, we travel in the summer, and I've just kind of like let things go. Lots of panda cories, lots of Venezuelan wild Corridoras, high fins. Um, and lots of different types of Limnophilia aromatica, Limnophilia mini, Limnophilia hippodroides, Cygnobellum, uh, Cabamba furcata, Cabamba purple. It's not Caroliniatus. I think it's Americanus, and then a purple variation. Um, Taiwan. Lily, yeah, it's super overgrown. And then Ludwigia arculata, lots of mini ovalis, mini butterfly that's in low light. I turned down this light so this is a Fluval 3.0, and I'm doing some comparisons. I filmed it and stuff too, but I'm doing comparisons to try to just tell you what I think about what lights. This, when it's up, like the light is cranked up. This, I mean, I've got Rotala Pearl 2 and 3 in here, and right now it's at like the light isn't super bright. I've got purple Cripsbrowse, and then over here, so this is the bed that was set up. This tank was set up because of the lightning strike, so that I could rest here when I had spine surgery or jaw surgery, so that I could sit and watch the fish and just see these fish here and all these fish here. But now, yeah, and then I've also got Pseudomcgill. I traded back my Gertrude Aru2s because I only had males left. And now I'm breeding the Pseudomcgill luminatus. And I breed them up in that shrimp tank. Up in the top shrimp tank, I breed them. And yeah, so this tank, it needs some love. It needs to be trimmed again. But there's a lot of I guess you'd call them high-end or rare plants in here. And they're doing fine. I'm just neglecting them of like ferts and a bunch of other, strong light. And kind of, I wanted to see how they would do if they got all the way immersed. I was kind of waiting to see, but a lot of them don't really want to go immersed. Um, but yeah, so I didn't really have anything great to show you here. There's also 5 Pandagars in here, and I'm not joking. I put 6 of these Panda Corridoras in here, and I think there are over 20 now. So they have babies like no tomorrow, and nobody messes with them. This is a Hatchet Danio. There's some Maytangensis Danios, some Tinwini Danios, some Panthera. Here comes a Panthera Danio. There are orange-eyed or red-eyed lemon tetras right there. I love those guys. I've only gotten them to breed once, and then I sold them, and now I'm kicking myself in the face because I did that. But yeah, this was kind of my Danio slash Southeast Asia tank, other than the Corys, for a long time. And yeah, the Pandagaras. And then there's some CPDs. There's erythromicrons. There's an erythromicron. So I think there's 9 or 10 species of Danios. These are all Danios you're looking at. People think Danios are boring. I don't have any zebra or leopard Danios in here. There's Kyathit Danios. And then one type of tetra in there. So, yeah, I mean, life doesn't need to be boring. Danios, there's lots of really cool Danios out there, and Aquatic Arts frequently has them. So other than that, all these tanks have shrimp. They all have various kinds. I try to put a Neocaridina and then some sort of Babalti or something else in there. I discussed how you enter the contest online. You know what? I think I need to do some prize, some gift, some great thing for those of you overseas, because it just feels so bad to leave you guys out. I did money transfers to people last time, and they're not putting up cash this time, so like I don't really want to put up my own cash and do the money transfer. And then they had to pay, like in certain countries there was like a headache of stuff to fill out, and they had to like fill out a customs gift form. One country they had to pay $19 to get 20, so I sent them 40 instead. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just crazy. So I'll think of something for you guys overseas. Maybe it'll be appearing on the show or answering a question on the show or consultations. Because I'm also doing like on the phone consultations now. I love to help people when I can, but I have a life, I have a wife, I have stuff I gotta do. I wish this was my job. If you like it, you can subscribe, you can help me out on Patreon and make it more of a job. But I mean, for me right now, it's not. And so, isn't there an issue with shipping livestock internationally? Yes, there is. So that's why last time I gave cash to people internationally. And there were some rules about that because, like, in all of Saudi or all of the Middle East and like Saudi Arabia, Yemen, those places, somebody in Jordan actually won. And I said, I'll send you $40. And it was considered gambling and he wasn't allowed to get it. And he's just like, just forget about it. It was kind of a mess. Yeah, t-shirts could be an idea. Shipping's just a bear. It's like, I mean, the t-shirt may cost me $20 and then shipping's like 35 or something ridiculous. Maybe like an Amazon gift card if you have Amazon in your country, or maybe like a gift card that I can buy online but with US dollars. I don't know. I'll try to figure something out, guys. If you have an idea, that's what you can comment about in this video. Um, yeah, because they have amazing fish farms in other parts of the world, obviously. I mean, the US gets all of our fish from overseas, not all of them, but we get most of our fish that are being sold by large shops from overseas. I mean, Aquatic Arts gets a lot of their stuff overseas. It's getting really hot in my house. It's a hot day outside. Look at the neighbor's jacuzzi. I always want to sneak over there and like Operation Jacuzzi. Um, yeah, yeah. There's a series of farm tours that Corey did. I went to a lot of the same farms actually at the same time, and he did a good job on the videos. And so I was like, wow, there's no point in releasing some of those right now. I literally got the same tour. And he had Jimmy, who's way better than me at editing. But I will let those videos out sometime. The other thing is people weren't getting a. I think Aquatic Arts does sell on Amazon to some degree. I know I've seen them on Amazon, but I don't know if it's just like just food or just like dry goods or how that works. I mean, I've seen critters listed, but it must be limited to like a certain part of the U.S. or something, like what shrimp they sell and stuff. But yeah, if it's possible, we will make it happen. If it's doable and it makes sense, like if you won $25 worth of shrimp and we'll face it as it comes up. Everyone wins who's international for some reason, then we'll figure out giving you cash or something. I'll be good. I'll step up for it. From all the ad money I've made in the last 6 months or something. I don't know. I keep it in an account, and I'm hoping to get a 90p to show you guys more of a like aquascape that I can redo and look very classy and nice, and to feed my Dr. Pepper habit. Mm. But yeah, check Aquatic Arts out if you haven't yet. Check out Han Aquatics if you haven't yet. All good people. Yeah, Noah, if overseas people win, maybe everyone can chip in with $1 super chat and then we can send them the money. That would be great. Uh, Too generous, don't overextend. Sorry, yeah, I'll do what I can. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I'm not promising anything yet, but, um, you know, this is mostly for U.S. citizens. Like, if you want actual shrimp and fish, and we're free shipping, obviously. But, and that's overnight shipping. But if not, if you're invested in the channel, still do something, and we can figure out something for you guys. Okay, figure out something. It may have to be you're on the channel, like you can chat live, or I'll do a home show and you can show off your like something. I don't know. We'll figure out something. Shipping to Canada shouldn't be too much. It used to not be. 7 years ago, I used to sell art and books into Canada from Washington all the time to Vancouver, and it would cost me like $9, and now the same thing costs me $68. It's a bunch of crap. They just have to drive it over the border. It's just taxes and bureaucracy and I don't know, the New World Order or something. Some conspiracy that I can blame it on. All right, I'm gonna stop wandering around pacing and chat. Oh, well, now I get a $2 super chat for Dr. Pepper. Thank you very much, Shelby Ray. I appreciate it. I know you're always watching. Um, yeah, the Illuminati, exactly. That's who's putting shipping prices up. It's got to be. But yeah, so I'll be back with lots of stuff soon. We'll do another live chat soon. I've been kind of slacking on them. I used to do them multiple times a week, but I need to get a set date and time, and it's gonna happen. It'll happen, I swear. And yeah, I mean, I always show my tanks, but I want to do like a scientifically researched, really good video a week. And I mean, it's edited good. Editing. What are B-roll? Yeah, you want free stuff and things, TC Aquatics. Of course you do. Everyone does. So read the description and you'll figure it out. Just go to the video linked about lightning in the description. Watch it. Please watch it. What I'm really trying to do is see if an old video can go viral. That's part of the secret behind this. But also, I just love that video and I feel like it's so representative of the channel and I want to relaunch it. But it wouldn't make sense because I didn't just get, I don't know, whatever. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that is, I think that's where I'm going to have to leave things today. Sorry if you just joined in, like Pete. Love you guys. I appreciate it. I want to remind you on a serious note, the contest, the rules, I said it all in the beginning. You can watch it again. But on a serious note, if you know anybody who's struggling with addiction or mental illness problems, please talk to them or get them help. Suggest that they talk to somebody else, whatever it takes. I mean, you don't have to always be annoying to people or anything, but be kind to each other. You don't know. I mean, I know people get sick if someone's on the street begging for money and they're like, hey man, can I get $5? Like, you can always be kind to them. You can always be kind to them. You don't need to be a jerk. You don't know if maybe a little bit of kindness, you don't need to give them money, but I mean, a little bit of kindness can help a lot. Maybe it gets them to do something different than the day before. Maybe they needed that. I'm a big proponent of hugs. Just don't get poked by anything, needle-wise. Or otherwise. I think, yeah, if you know somebody who's elderly, check on them, visit them. Don't let them be alone too long. Wellness checks are great for yourself. I encourage meditation, no matter what religion or atheist or whatever you are. Just calmly go watch nature. Just be present in yourself. Think about your breathing, relaxing your muscles, and clearing your mind, or cluttering it until it's so cluttered you can't think about anything else and you kind of just drift off. Whatever it takes. This isn't a woo-woo meditation channel, but I lost a very dear friend the other day, and we've talked about this before on this channel, but if you need help with substance, alcohol or opiates or cocaine, whatever it may be, pills, please, 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 reach out. You'll know when the time is right. You can't make people do anything, and sometimes you have to cut people off, but in your heart, be ready to forgive, and just, if there's someone you've forgotten for a while, or written off, you don't need to be their best friend. You don't need to trust them, but maybe send some love and some compassion their way, and maybe it's enough that it can turn something around for them, and then later on in life, maybe they've already done you wrong and you can't trust them again, and you've been hurt, but don't leave them alone too long, check back in, even if it's at a distance emotionally. But it's just important that we love each other, we take care of each other, and live every day to the fullest. Love the people around you. Don't take what you have for granted. Look around, your eyes. Oh my gosh, you can see. If you're listening to me, oh my gosh, you can hear. What if you didn't have hearing abilities or the ability to move your hand? I mean, you never know when you're going to lose something like that or when someone close to you is. And it's been so freaking real lately in my life. Um, because of choices in the past too and people I associated with, but this one came out of the blue. So, just a normal, everyday family guy you wouldn't expect. So, all right, guys. Take care of yourselves and your tanks. If you want to enter the contest, go to that lightning video. Tell me you want to enter it. I'll comment. Okay, I got you. And take care of yourselves. Have a great one. If you have any ideas for videos or you have questions and you're like, I'd love to know more about X, Y, or Z that I just saw, because I know we have a lot of new people joining us, always feel free to contact me. Feel free to contact me this way, through the Facebook, whatever it may be. And thank you to Betsy for moderating and holding it down this time. Ooh, Frosted Flakes. I might need those. All right, guys. Take care. Talk to you later. Swim on. Later.